Hi guys, in this tutorial I'm going to walk you through a step-by-step guide of installing Flutter on your Windows machine. First of all, we are going to head over to flutter.dev. Flutter.dev is the official website for the Flutter team. On this website we have access to a wide range of things such as the docs, which contains how to use Flutter, getting started with Flutter, the showcase, and the Flutter community. But for now, we are just going to go through get started, and we click on Windows. Then we have to go through this system requirements to make sure your Flutter works properly. Then we are going to download the installation bundle, that is the Flutter SDK. So we are going to click on this and wait for it to download. Alright, so the downloading is done. We are just going to extract this folder. After extracting the folder, we go into the extracted folder and into this according to what is written here. It said extract the zip file and place the contained folder in a desirable installation location. So this is what we are going to do. We are going to copy this and we are going to go into and create a new folder here, name it src, and paste the this is going to take quite a while. After the copying process has finished, let's check if our system can detect that we've downloaded Flutter. So we do Windows R and we type in cmd and I type in Flutter here. It gave me this error. Why? This error occurs because your system doesn't know where the Flutter file is located yet, and that is where the next step comes in, which is updating your path. So to do that, from here I said we should search env. So we do env and we go to edit system environment variables. We click on open and we click on environment variables. Alternatively, we can close this and type env again and just come to edit environmental variable for your account. Then it brings us here straight up. We click on path and we add our Flutter bin. So we come here, click on Flutter, click on bin, and we copy the path here, Ctrl C, and I come back here, click on new, and I paste this. Click on OK and I click on OK. If I close this up and run it again and I type Flutter, see, it is processing something. That means our system has recognized Flutter. See, welcome to Flutter. So let's continue. We go to the next step on the now let's try and run Flutter Doctor. Flutter Doctor helps us detect problem with our Flutter SDK. If there are any problems, it's going to let us know. So alright, so it shows us that we have some errors. Okay, we have installed our Flutter SDK, but Android Studio is not installed, and that should be our next step, installing Android Studio. It says download and install Android Studio, which is at developers.android.com, which is open here. So we go over to download Android Studio. We accept the agreement and we download Android Studio. We wait for the download to finish. As for me, I've downloaded it, so I'm just going to cancel it out. I open up the folder and we click on the installation. So we continue. Welcome to the Android Studio setup. Click on next. Now we are going to wait for the installation. The installation is now complete. We click on next and we start Android Studio. We go back to the flutter.dev, which tells us to step 2 is follow the. So we click on do not import settings. I'm going to click on don't send. Then it's going to bring us to this welcome screen. I'm going to ignore the updates, then click on next. I'm going to go with the standard settings, choose Dracula, which is the dark theme. It's going to download the SDK, Android SDK and the SDK platform. You can also select the Android SDK location where you want it to save your Android SDK. So you click on next. It's going to show you a list of things that it's going to download, which is the Android emulator and so on. Then we click on finish. Our installation is now complete, so I'm going to click on finish. Then it brings us to this Android Studio welcome screen. But before we continue, we have to go back to CMD and we have to confirm that Flutter Doctor has now detected Android Studio. So I'm just going to close this up and open CMD again, and we type in Flutter Doctor. And Android Studio is still not detected. This is because the Flutter SDK didn't auto detect our Android Studio installation folder. So we'll go back to flutter.dev, and according to what is written here, we would have to run the Flutter config. So just copy this and we paste it here. Then we'll go to our file explorer and we go to Windows, Program Files, Android,
Android Studio and we copy the path. We go back to our CMD and we paste it in here. We'll close up CMD again and we open it. We run Flutter Doctor. Now this error occurs because we didn't set up our Flutter config well. Now this is an error to look forward to.
When you have this kind of issue, this is what you do. This is the way you run the proper Flutter config. So you do this, we copy this, and we come back to our CMD, we paste this in, we copy the directory, and we open this up again, and we put it in a quote, like that. So let's restart it. Windows arrow and CMD. So we do Flutter Doctor. And see, Flutter Doctor has now detected that we have installed Android Studio. Now the next thing here is to accept the Android license. So we are just going to copy this and paste this here. So what could this error be? Let's say set exception in thread main, which is caused by class not found. So let's see what the error is. Now it gave us this error because we haven't installed the Android Studio command line tools. Keep in mind you might not get this error, but for those of you that will get this error, this is the way to resolve it. You can just come to your Android Studio, then come to more actions, come to SDK manager, and we go to SDK tools and we install Android SDK command line tools. We click on apply and we download. Wait for that to finish. So okay, we accept and we click on next and wait for that to finish. Alright, it's all done. We click on finish and we click on OK. So when we come back here, let's try closing this and running it again. And we click on Flutter Doctor. Okay, so we copy this again. And we paste it here and we click on enter. Let's see, that should solve the issue. Okay, so renew license have not been accepted, yes, which is why
accept, yes, yes, yes. Now we're done. So if we run Flutter Doctor again, we have no issues now, so we can continue with our Android Studio. So let's go back to Flutter.dev. The next step is setting up the Android device. Setting up your Android device. So depending on your phone, we have to enable developer option. Depending on your phone, we come to switch on my screen recorder. Settings, and we come to system. We go to about phone. I look for the build number. We tap it 7 times. So this is, and you're now a developer, yay! We go back and we'll see developers option enabled here. So we'll go to the debugging section and put on USB debugging, and that's basically it. Now let's try and set up our emulator. So to set up our Android emulator, we go to Android Studio and click on more actions and AVD manager, operate on create virtual device, and you can select anyone you want, but I'm going to go with Pixel 4 and click on next. I'm going to download the API, so we're going to have to wait for this to finish downloading as well. And it's going to take quite a while. Alright, so it has finished downloading, and I'm going to click on finish, and yeah, I'm going to select Pi and next. I'm just going to leave the name, and I'm going to click on finish. Now we have an emulator. It's that easy to set up. Then I'm just going to launch this. While the emulator is launching, I can close this up and come back to Android Studio, and let's install the plugins. So I'm just going to come to plugin, type Flutter, and I'm going to click on install, click on accept. It says the Flutter plugin requires that plugin to be installed, so I'm going to click on install too. So the Flutter plugin is getting installed. And let me confirm that the that plugin is also installed. So I'm just going to search for that, and it's installed. So I have to restart the Android Studio for it to be able to see it. Alright, Android Studio has started up, and notice that it has a new button here called new Flutter project, and I'm just going to click on it. And also my emulator has started up, so we are going to wait for Android Studio to load that up. Alright, so I'm going to come here, click on Flutter. You can also create that project, but we're going to click on Flutter. You set your Flutter SDK path, which is
the folder where you stored your Flutter SDK. I'm going to click on next. You can select your app name here, project name. I'm just going to leave it at untitled, and you can change your organization name, that is also called package name, and you can change your Android language. You can set it as Java or Kotlin. Now I'm going to leave it at Kotlin. Also, you can select the platform where you want your app to work. Is it that Android, iOS? Is it that Android? Also, you can select the platform where you want your app to work. Is it that Android, iOS? You can click on web, Linux, Mac OS, or Windows, but I'm just going to leave it as Android and iOS. And I'm going to click on finish. I'm going to wait for Android Studio to build the project. Android Studio is currently loading some modules, so we have to wait for that to load up. Alright, we have successfully created our Android Studio Flutter project. So I'm just going to open up my main.dat file, which is basically the startup file from the Flutter team. It's just a basic counter app, and I'm going to try and run it on my emulator. It's already selected here, so I'm just going to click on this, and I'm going to click on this green play button and wait for it to load. Alright, our app is currently installing, and we just wait for it to sync. It has to sync the files. We have successfully launched our first Flutter app. Like I said, it's just a basic counter app. So we click on this button and the number increases. So that's it basically. Now if we make a change here, let's see, let's change this times to time. We can click on this button, which is the auto reload button. It just makes instant change without rebuilding your app. See, but that's basically it about setting up Flutter on Android Studio. So now we have to set up Flutter for VScode. So I'm just going to setting up Visual Studio Code. We have to come to this Visual Studio Code site, and we'll click on Windows download. We have to wait for this to download, but I'm going to cancel it out. I already have it here, so I'm going to click on install. We're going to accept the agreement. Next. Next. I need a desktop icon, so I'm going to click on install. Alright, we come to the extension and we search for Flutter. Here. We click on install. And it's going to install the Flutter plugin. Alright, our Flutter extension has been installed, so I have to confirm that the DAT extension is also installed. It's also installed. I have to restart the IDE so that it can see the changes. So I'm just going to go over here. I'm going to come to view, command palette, and I'm going to search for Flutter. And I'm going to click on this new application project. I'm going to select where I want the project to be created. I'm just going to click on Studio Project and I'm going to select the project. I'm going to choose a project name. I'm going to name it my app. I'm going to click on enter. Yes. We'll have to wait for Visual Studio to create the Flutter project. Now our Flutter project is ready, and just like in Android Studio, it has this starter project, which is the basic counter app. So to run this, I'm going to run it on my emulator, which is already here. I'm going to have to minimize this so it can be side by side. I'm going to click on run. I'm going to click on start debugging. And we have to wait for it to launch here. Our Flutter app has successfully installed, and we're just going to, you click on the button, it increases. To auto reload, you just press this button, and that's basically it on setting up Flutter on your Windows machine. There's this question that people ask, that why do developers prefer Visual Studio Code to Android Studio? That is basically because Visual Studio Code is lighter than Android Studio, I'm going to open up my task manager to show you an example. Here, the memory consumption of Visual Studio Code is 748.47 MB, and Visual Studio Code is just 247 MB. That's basically why it is preferable to use Visual Studio Code, especially for people that have low performance PC. You can always use Visual Studio Code to make your app build faster and your building process also faster. So that's basically it. This intro. If you enjoyed this tutorial, don't forget to hit the like button and click the subscribe button. Thank you.